So, you're ready to buy a home? Are you ready not to pay your landlord's mortgage anymore and gain some equity for yourself? Yeah, I've been there. But maybe you also don't have a lot of money saved up. That's okay, because today we're going to talk about how to buy a house in Bend for zero money down. All right, grab a cup of coffee, grab a cup of tea, whatever it is you like to drink, and let's talk about how to buy a house in Bend, Oregon, or in Central Oregon for zero money down. So first, a little disclaimer, I am not a lender, so I can't promise you that you can buy a home in Bend for zero money down, but I am a real estate broker who has helped other clients buy a home with zero money down and even helping them cover their closing costs. So if you want to learn how to do that, stay tuned. We're going to talk about all this and more. All right, let's get into it. But first, do yourself a favor and click on that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future videos. So can you buy a house in Bend without having a down payment? Well, the answer is yes and no. Let me explain. First, can I share a little story with you? When my husband and I first got married,
ages ago,
we were broke. We had no money for a down payment. We lived in this crappy apartment with neighbors who got cops called on them literally every single night. At the time, I was working from home and I was so over it. I was so over that apartment life. And I told my husband, we have to buy a home. It just did not make sense for us to continue renting or to move to another apartment just to experience those similar things. Things did not go perfectly and according to plan at first. We were almost getting ready to make an offer on our first home, and we discovered there were some issues with our credit and we couldn't buy just yet, which, by the way, this is very, very normal, especially as a first-time home buyer. But with a lot of hard work and patience, we actually ended up building our own home and we got our closing costs covered in our loan. Let's talk about how we did this. So there are two loan types that I want to bring to your attention. The first loan type that you can use to buy a house in Bend, Oregon, or Central Oregon, anywhere really, is the VA loan. Now the VA loan is only for veterans, and if you're not a veteran, stick around, I'll tell you type number 2. But if you are a veteran, this is a really great loan to use, especially if you're a first-time home buyer, because you can purchase a home with having no down payment. Now, there are a lot of misconceptions about VA loans and VA appraisals and all of that stuff, but really they're not that different from the other loans. And I have helped VA buyers buy their first home here in Bend. The second loan I want to bring to your attention is the USDA loan. This is the Rural Development Loan, say that 3 times fast, and this is the loan that my husband and I used to purchase our first home. Now here's a little caveat about this loan. You have to qualify for it, obviously, but one of the main things is that you can only use it in certain areas that have a certain population level, okay? So in Bend, you actually cannot use this loan as Bend's population is too high, but you can use it in the surrounding areas like Lapine, Sisters, Redmond, Prineville, pretty much anywhere where the population is lower than Bend here in Central Oregon. Many people don't know, but you can even use a USDA loan to build a new construction home. All right, so now you know that you can purchase a home in Central Oregon with zero money down. But what about closing costs? Closing costs can vary, but you can typically assume about 1% of the home purchase price will be your closing costs. So how do we get these paid for? There are a couple of ways in which you can do this. The first way to get your closing costs covered is to roll them into your loan. The way that you do this is you basically ask the seller to give you a credit towards closing costs. These are called concessions. The second way to get your closing costs covered is through a grant. Some USDA programs have grants that you have to qualify for, of course, and then they can pay for your closing costs, maybe a portion or maybe even the full thing. Your lender can let you know if you qualify for a program like that. All right, here's a tip, and I'm not just trying to sell real estate agents, okay? But use a good real estate agent to help you. It is not going to cost you any money for them to help you buy a home. Make sure you get someone who you like and who you trust and who can be patient with you in this process. Okay, so now you might be thinking, cool, I think I might be able to buy a house with 0 down payment and get my closing costs covered. But Anya, are there any other things that I should know about? You know, being prepared for any out-of-pocket costs? Yes. Going into your home purchase, there are a few costs that you should be aware of that will have to come out of your pocket. Those costs can include things like inspections and home warranties. Appraisal costs are another thing that may come out of your pocket. However, I have seen some loan programs that roll these costs into your loan as well. While buying your first home, you may run into a few issues, like maybe you have to fix your credit, or you have to establish more work history, or maybe you have to qualify for enough of a loan to be able to actually afford a house in your area. These are all obstacles that can be overcome, so don't let them stop you from pursuing your dream of becoming a homeowner. The best way to know if you qualify for any of these programs that I mentioned is to speak with a lender. If you don't know where to start, reach out to me and I'd be happy to help you and direct you to a really great lender. If you have more questions about how to buy a house with 0 money down, post a comment below and I'd be happy to answer your questions. And if you haven't yet, click that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on any future videos. Thanks so much, and we'll see you next time.